actually, so welcome. I know that, so I've read through your bio and I know that you are a primary school teacher, and you mentioned that you kind of bend down a lot, so you're focusing on those knees and glutes in kind of helping young children, and obviously it's a very active job kind of running around and keeping them, keeping them safe. So also with that I want to focus on breathing and really focus on kind of coming into your body and giving that time back to you, because I know it can be quite a stressful job. And also I know you you play AFL football, which is really impressive. So there's a lot of jumping there, so I want to work on the ankle mobility, also the calves and kind of the hip flexion, because I know it can get quite tight there. You've mentioned hip tightness before. So really a lot of lower body work we'll be going through today. I know you also mentioned your core and just wanting to strengthen that. Yeah. So that will also just help with your endurance during the game and general kind of fitness. And just posture alignment, we really want to focus on kind of strengthening and lengthening and making sure we're keeping a really good posture throughout this. And that will just help you in your general lifestyle, because you are a very active person. Perfect. Okay, so we're going to start with the foot series, and again this is just to warm through the ankles, get some mobility going. So all we're going to do is check into our alignment, make sure our collar blades are smiling, and it's just a bit of foot and ankle control. We're going to come up and down and down and back up. So we'll work through this movement on your tippy toes, down into a squat, down and back up. So we'll work through that together. So smiling collarbones, make sure your posture's lovely and strengthened. And as you reach forward onto your tippy toes, as if you're wearing high heels, down into a squat, perfect. And then you can come back down and lift back up to the beginning. Perfect, down into a squat, back down and lengthen. Yeah, lovely, into a squat, down and lengthen back up. So this is really to warm up through that lower body. As I say, we'll be working through it quite a lot today. How's that feeling?
Yeah, it's nice.
Good. It's also quite good for that coordination. I know you mentioned you have done Pilates before, but you kind of want to focus back into giving more time to mobility and coordination, so that's really good to get working through that. Last one and up. Perfect. Okay, I'll just demonstrate the shoulder bridge for you. We're going to try and get through to level 3 today, because I know you have been doing some work before. So here we really want to make sure our pelvis is level. So think about tipping water towards your feet. And then we're going to tip that water back to our belly button, peel our vertebrae one by one up, and then just roll back down. So really focusing on flexing through that spine. At the top, to go to level 3, we're just going to keep this position, straight line, and extend one of our legs to the opposite side of the room, and the other, and peel. So off we go with that one. So we'll just work through level 1 first of all. So tip that water towards your feet first of all, and squish that blueberry behind the small of your back and up, and come back down. We'll just work through that level 1 a few times just to really get some flexion through the spine. Lovely work. So really think of one vertebrae by vertebrae going down and peeling back up. We can hold in this straight line now, so really make sure we've got a straight line here, and we're just going to reach one of our feet towards the opposite side of the seat, of the wall, and back down. And just continue through this movement on each side, really energizing through those glutes to keep that lovely straight line from your knees to your shoulders. Gorgeous work. This is quite a strong position, but you're really doing well here. You can always roll back down if you need to realign. We'll just roll back down, and we'll just roll up and go for one more on each side. This is really strong work. Well done. And roll back down. that for me. Really well done, that's really good work. We're now going to go into, now we're going to come into our teaser. So we're going to stay back in the Pilates rest position, and this time we can extend our arms above our shoulders. And we're just going to come up with our arms and through abdo prep position. So really scooping through that tummy, and then we're going to push through. You might want to extend your legs here if you're struggling, and up straight, and then really scoop through that tummy and come back down. You can go as slowly as you can here to really work through that core. Okay, so I'll take you through it as you start in Pilates rest position. We really want to check through those 5 key elements. So if you just do a few pelvic tips to make sure you're all level, perfect, and then you can reach your arms back behind. And then, yeah, if you want to extend your legs a little bit just to help you, you can come up through that abdo prep. Yep, slowly, 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 and up to the top. And then just scoop through the belly again, slow as you can, really slowing down this movement. And now just take time to inhale, slowly come through abdo prep, and reach up. Perfect, and slowly scooping through and breathing. Perfect, so inhale, exhale through that abdo prep. Just be really careful about your neck in this position. Keeping it, yeah, nice and safe, and coming back down. That can be your last one. I know that's a really strong position. Well done. Okay, I know you mentioned your tight hips, so we're going to come into some hip twists. And this should really release and also strengthen those hips. So we can start in Pilates rest position, and then we're going to come into tabletop. So we'll float one leg at a time, and then we're slowly just going to pull one of our knees outwards. And this can be a really small movement. You don't want your hips to tilt in any way, so we need them to be as if they have flashlights shining towards the ceiling. So it's almost the smaller the movement, the better. So we're just checking those 5 key elements: long neck, breathing, make sure the rib cage is relaxed and our pelvis is straight. Perfect tabletop position for me. Nice 90-90, yeah, lovely. And then we'll just slowly, yeah, relax one to the ground and then the other. So if you have tight hips, this can be quite a strong movement. And what you don't want to do is push it too far, which might mean that you'll come out of alignment. That's perfect. So just breathing through this. How's that feeling?
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah?
I can feel it opening my hips.
Great. Yeah, so really making sure, you can almost imagine you have a blueberry under the small of your back and you don't want to squish it. That will help you just engage that core and keep really steady through that pelvis. So we'll also work through your obliques as you're opening and working through that core, keeping engaged. Perfect. Last one on this side. Lovely. And you can slowly come back down. We'll now come into leg lift. So this is a sideline movement. So you're just going to come onto your side. Legs can start in 90-90 just to make sure we get that really lovely steady pelvis again. And then we can just extend our legs just a little bit forward to give us some stability. And if you need here, you can just pop your hand in front of you as if you're covering a muffin. We're going to extend our upper leg and then lift our lower one to meet and come back down. So just be really careful here about the rocking. So keeping really steady, top leg, bottom leg, and then back down. So we'll take you through. Back, so on our side, bottom arm extended, lovely comfy position. Yeah, and just check in to make sure you've got a lovely little arch here and you're all stacked, perfect. And then if you just want to pop your hand in front of you for a bit of stability, lift your top leg just as far as the hips allow. Perfect. So again, this is all about balance, this movement. So it's really good to strengthen and lengthen and work through that balance. It's also really good for the glutes. So this will really help with that endurance on the football pitch. We'll just do 2 more here. Make sure we're breathing. Our neck is long. Lovely, last one. Okay. We'll now go into a bit of prone work. We'll do our leg pull in prone. So we're going to start in a lovely foreleg movement. So we're going to make sure we're steady in the pelvis here and just tuck our toes and lift. So this is just your simple level 1. And then we're actually going to progress you to level 2. So I just need you to go a little bit further forwards with your hands. We're going to come up as usual and then just extend through to plank, making a straight line from our shoulders to our toes, and then we can extend back. Perfect. So we really want to make sure we're keeping a straight back here. Perfect. A few pelvic rocks just to make sure, yeah, we're nice and stable. And really think about smiling collarbones here. Yeah, you can play with your hands to make sure you're comfortable, and then tuck your toes and just hover. So we could do a couple of these just to really make sure we're comfortable and working through. Lovely, so this will be working through the upper body, but just to give it a little bit more, if you want to walk your hands forward a little bit, perfect, and then you can come up and yeah, extend forward, perfect, into a lovely plank and back down. So this will start engaging your core a little bit more and also testing that upper body strength. Yeah, this is a lovely full body movement, and again, it will just help your endurance on that football field. And I know that core is something that you really wanted to focus on here. So just breathing through, lovely long neck, and make sure we're staying straight. Lovely, we'll just do one more slow one here. Maybe we'll just hold this plank. Really lengthen and strengthen. Perfect, breathe through, and then you can come back and hover. Yeah, lovely. Okay, we're going to do another 4-point wheel movement here. This one is called swimming. We're going to go for level 4. So again, just do a few pelvic tilts, make sure your collarbone bones are smiling, and then we can lift and hover one of our arms and one of our legs simultaneously. You can take this really slowly to begin with. We want to make sure we're trying not to rock our hips, so keeping really steady. We also want to make sure that eye gaze is forward to avoid any neck issues. Perfect, so just the 4-point kneel for me. Some pelvic rocks, make sure your hip width apart with your knees and your hands under shoulders. Perfect. And then when you're ready, just hover one of your legs and the opposite arm, keeping that eye gaze forward so your neck is nice and long. Perfect, yeah, this can be really wobbly. I know you wanted to work on your coordination and balance, so this is a really good one for that. It also does work through that core. So really want you to focus here on lengthening and strengthening. Reach, reach, reach as far as you can to the other side of the room and point those toes to the windows. This is lovely work here. Just make sure we're relaxed through that rib cage and our core is nice and turned on here. So we want to keep, yeah, perfect. We don't need to arch too much. Lovely. Okay, we'll go for one more on each side. This should be our longest stretch, 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 stretch. Perfect, and back. And last one, stretch. And back. Okay, the next one we'll do is quite a fun movement. It's called rolling like a ball. So we can just start with our legs like this. And we'll just roll and scoop. And this is level 3, so we won't touch our toes to the ground. So this will really mean you have to switch on your core and keep a C curve through that belly. So this will really work your core. It's also good, again, for the coordination, and it's a good mobility one through the back of your spine. Yep, so make sure you've got that C curve and just rock back onto your sit bones. Yeah, perfect. And really keep that control to keep you up and not touch them toes. Lovely. This one's a lovely one towards the end of class. It can make you kind of feel like a child again and relate to those children you teach. It's a really lovely one to mobilise your back a little bit and also focus on that core. Lovely. So really think about scooping that belly, lovely long neck. We'll go for 2 more. 1 and 2, lovely work. Okay, we're gonna finish on the roll down. So just keeping a lovely neutral position, and then we're gonna tuck our chin under, slowly roll and scoop through that belly, rolling down, 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 vertebrae by vertebrae. You can bend your legs here, your knees, just to make sure you get a good stretch, and shake it out, and then slowly scoop back in. Again, really mobilizing through that spine, which I know is something you said that you wanted to work on a bit more, stretching and kind of releasing. So slowly tuck the chin and then roll down vertebrae by vertebrae, scooping that belly. Yeah, really think about getting a nice stretch through that spine, and you can give it a few rocks here. And scoop, 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 pulling up through. Really work on releasing all that tension. And we'll just add some breathing here, so breathing through nice and slowly. And then take a nice inhale at the bottom as you sway. And then release and breathe as you pull yourself back up. And we'll just go for one more. Again, connecting back into our body, rolling back down. Really think about strengthening and lengthening all those muscles that you've used. You can also feel this in your hamstrings. It's a really good stretch. And then slowly rolling back up through that spine. Okay, we're going to start the session with a bit series, so we're going to go through some walking on the reformer. This is really good for ankle mobility and also for the calves, so to help that jumping with your football. It will also help that ankle stability for when you're moving off in different directions. So you're just going to lie down onto the reformer, balls of the feet, and you're going to push out. Flex one knee, whilst the other heel goes behind the foot bar. Okay, so I'll just get you to jump on, and then I'll check through how you're lying. Perfect, just check in with those 5 key elements. So give me some pelvic rocks just to make sure you've got a neutral pelvis. Smiling collarbone, so really relax through those shoulders, hands by your side, on the balls of your feet, perfect, and just push out through the reformer. Perfect, one heel comes down, the other knee flexes, perfect. Okay, so just make sure you're relaxing through, yeah, and you've got space for a grape just under the small of your back. Perfect, so yeah, this is really working through that ankle mobility, and that will just help you on the field when you're kind of changing direction and jumping through. You can really speed that up if you would like. You can even do 1 breath for every 2 movements. Yeah, lovely. How's that feeling?
Good. Feel the warmth.
Yeah, good. Yeah, this is a nice little warm up through those ankles and feet. Okay, perfect. Just give me 2 more. And then you can take yourself back in. Lovely. And then you can just jump off. We're going to go into some external rotation now. And this is just the glutes and also the adductors. So keep your heels down, your toes out, and we'll just push. So again, we'll check into those 5 key elements, make sure we're relaxing through the body. So if you just hop on. So this will really help with your lower body strength, and also just stretching through those adductors to work on that speed when you're running around the field. It will also help you with endurance throughout the match. Perfect. Okay, so again, just check in with those 5 key elements. Make sure you're breathing, make sure your collarbones are shining. You've got space for that family of ants to run through the bottom of your back. If you want to feel this a little bit more, you can point your toes even wider, yeah, and just come through. How's that feeling?
Yeah, it's good.
Good.
My hips.
Good. Yeah. We'll just help with those hip flexors. I remember you saying they are tight. Yeah, perfect. We'll just give a couple more of these. Looks like you're going well. Perfect. Okay, we're now going to work through the core, because I know this is something you wanted to work on. It's really important to have a strong core. We'll try on this spring, but we might need to bring it down a little bit. So if we just pop into tabletop, and we'll push through, and that seems okay. So this is all about breathing whilst having those balls bouncing by your sides. Okay, so I'll just walk you through it. If you'd just like to lie down onto the headrest, legs into tabletop, and then you can pull your knees out. Lovely, so we're just checking in that position. So legs at 90-90, make sure we're still relaxing through here, and our collar blades are shining. Perfect, push through to your abdo crack, so your head will come up as if you've got a ball between your neck and chin, and then we're pushing those balls. Yeah, so working on our breathing here, we'll breathe in for 5 and out for 5. You can count this in your own head. I don't want to interrupt your own breathing, but just make sure you're taking it really slow and really breathing out. So in, 2, 3, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 5. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5. In, 2, 3, 4, 5. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you can follow on that pattern in your head if that feels okay. Yeah, and you can make those hands even more exaggerated if that feels good. Really breathing and bring your head forward. Yeah, lovely. Really start to feel this through the core. We'll just go for one more in and one more out. Lovely, perfect. Okay, you can drop down when you're ready. How is that for your abs?
Tough.
Tough? Good. It's the only way we're going to strengthen. Okay, now we're going to go for some lighter springs. So we're going to work our upper body. This is just for the upper body endurance. So grab your straps. This is called the offering. So you're going to make sure you've got your collarbones smiling, and we're sitting on our sit bones. Push our arms forward, out, forward, out. Okay, see. So it's really important that we are working through that upper body. That's something we sometimes forget. So it's important to make sure we're strong and make sure you're probably sitting on your sit bones, lovely, and keeping your shoulders down. You're going to push forward and extend out, forward, out, and down. How's that spring feeling for you? Is it tough?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay, good. So forward and out, forward and down. Do you do much strength training as part of your football program?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We used to be able to catch balls in the air while knocking off other people.
That's all I can help. Perfect. Make sure you're breathing through as you go. And one more. Perfect. And you can relax after this last rep. Well done and lovely form. Sometimes those shoulders tend to come up, but you were great. Okay, we're going to add a little bit more on because we're going to go through some leg work now. So working through that lower body now that we've done our upper body, and you're going to lie on your side. Up to you. Make sure we're in 90-90. Strap. And we're just going to push and extend our leg away and back and away and back. I'll take you through the setup properly. Just like hop on your side. So this is really good for those glutes and working your lower body to keep you fast on that field. So imagine you're lying against a pane of glass. Perfect. You can scooch forward if you need to. Yeah. And then if you just want to reach your hand over to the back, first of all, and back to your hips. So this is the position I want you to keep, with as if you have laser beams on your hips pointing towards that mirror. Perfect. Just reach for the strap and you can pop it over your ankle. If you want to pop it more over your heel, you should feel this a bit more in your glutes. I know that's something you wanted to attack. Perfect. And push out and in. Yeah, okay, great. Perfect. So sometimes clients tend to reach back a bit or rotate back and move their body as if it's facing the ceiling. So we really want to make sure we have those laser beams towards the window. But you're doing really well. Perfect. How's that feeling for you? Yeah. Okay, we'll just go for 2 more here. Well done. Yeah, and last one, pushing through. Perfect. Okay, I'm just gonna change those springs down a little bit again, but we'll keep it on this and see how you go. So we're gonna go into tabletop and work our cat hips. I know you wanted to work on loosening those hips through. So we need a nice tabletop position, reaching your hands forward, and we're going to just bring our knees in to our shoulders using our hips. So I'll talk you through this. If you'd like to just hop on, you can put this down. Perfect, nice tabletop position. Again, just making sure we're flat through the back, lovely. And we're just gonna really make sure we have those smiling collarbones throughout this, because you can have a tendency to shrink up. Perfect, grip on, and we'll just use those knees to push through. So we might try and, how's that feeling? Is it too tough?
It's manageable.
Okay. I'm just gonna take one spring off and we'll see if we can then build up. So have a go at this. Is that better?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay, perfect. So we're trying to keep that upper body frozen, and we're just moving our hips to bring our knees forward. How's that feeling through the hips?
I can feel it mainly in my core.
Okay, yeah, that's good.
But yeah, I'll feel it in my hips in a sec.
No, it's really good. This is a good one to work through the core. Also releases your tight back, which I know you mentioned you have problems with.
Yeah.
Perfect. If you want a bit of a challenge, you can also just walk your hands further. Yeah, and now you will really feel that in the core. How's that going?
The shakes are standing.
Tough. Okay, we'll just do 2 more. So last one, and I want you to really breathe on this one. Yeah, perfect. Okay, you can crawl yourself back down. Well done, that was really good. Okay, we'll keep the springs nice and light, and I'm just gonna move this. That's actually all fine. And we're gonna work through some adductors. So I just want your legs on the platform and the carriage. Make sure we're standing nice and tall, and extend our outer leg out, and just make sure we're staying completely stable through the body. Both legs remain straight. Okay, I'll let you carefully get onto the reformer. Perfect. So both legs straight. Imagine you have 2 panes of glass either side of you, and just pushing out that outer leg. Take this really slowly and really resist that spring bringing you in. So this is working through those adductors again, working on that lower body to make sure you can increase that speed across the field and endurance when you're playing. Perfect. We're now going to bring in our arms, so you can come into a T as you extend, and down back by your side as you come in. Perfect. This is also testing that balance that I know you wanted to work on. We're going to coordination. So just come in, and on your next extension, I want you to rotate to the back of the room, keeping your hips forward and in. So out, rotate to the back of the room. Perfect. So really make sure you're keeping those torch lights facing forward and just rotating. The challenge here is to extend out and keep that carriage still as you rotate. Lovely work. Perfect. We'll just go for one more here. You're doing really well. Out and extend. Lovely. And come back and really carefully get off. Okay, we're going to make sure we have a little bit more spice here because we're going to work through our glutes again. So one leg on the reformer, one off. We want a knee. You can use this hand for support, and this to make sure you've got a stable pelvis. And we're pushing through that heel on the floor and just extending the reformer back. So your front leg should stay fairly still as you push through that heel. Okay, so hop yourself on. So really want to make sure that pelvis is steady and push through that front heel. So this should work through your hips, your glutes and your quads here, so really working that lower body again for speed on the field as you're playing your AFL. How's that feeling? Yeah?
Feeling the fire.
Good. On your next extension, if you want to do some pulses, yeah, just pulse out and back in. You can do 2 and in. Perfect. So pulse, pulse, and in, and really make sure we're pushing through that heel, and give your toes a wiggle to make sure you are just really pushing through the right area. Your hips with those toes stepped, which is good. Okay, we'll do one more pulse. Perfect, well done. Lovely work. We're going to go into the straight back now. So you're going to come onto the reformer, your feet against the foot bar, and you're going to keep really relaxed through those shoulders and really straight back, and you're just working on that hip dissociation. So just moving your hips and extending the carriage away and forward. Okay. So again, this is really good to work through those hip flexors. It also will target those glutes. Perfect for all that lower limb endurance to keep you going on the field. Perfect, so just check in on those key elements, make sure you're really relaxed through those shoulders, and we're just working through that hip extension. So this is good for the lumbo-pelvic stability. How's this feeling? Nice stretch. Perfect, we'll go for 2 more here, just keeping with the breathing, keeping strong through that core. Perfect, and you can bring yourself in. Well done. Okay, the last movement we'll go through for our cool down is just the legs and straps. Everyone's favourite, we're going to go for leg circles. This is really good for the nervous system and just to relax after that hard workout through your body, especially those lower limbs. So we're going to start with our legs at 45 degrees, and then we're just going to come round in circles, making sure our back is flat against the reformer. So this should be a really nice relaxing way to end the session. Just want to lie down. Up. those legs into your straps. Perfect, check in, make sure that pelvis is stacked. We'll come to 45 and then just let your legs release and extend through those circles. Again, this is really good for the nervous system and just to relax, especially after a long day of dealing with children. I know it can be stressful. It's also just really good to release all that tension through your legs from all the lower body work that we've done today. Focus here on your breathing, in and out through that belly, and you can just go in the other direction when you're ready. Slowing down that breathing